So I am going to try to defend what's happening with Lindsay. However, I'm going to be brutally honest. I do think Lindsay did screw up. And I know Lindsay is probably going to take this as an attack or I'm backstabbing her or whatever. Listen, it's just there's a lot that's missing in terms of context. Now, this is where I am. So this will be a little rambling, but I'm trying to piece this together as best as I can because I'm in the middle of this. So the basic gist here is Knifehoarder has done a series of videos that are very critical of Scoville and some other people in SPTV, but his main focus is Scoville as well as certain related people. So him and Goot have been doing these series of videos, and I think they're very well done. Goot, in fact, had a really crazy video recently that has it's incredible what he's finding, but we can't even get into that. So that's Knifehoarder. And here comes Lindsay. So who is Lindsay? Well, essentially Lindsay, and again, I'm not saying that's her primary identity. So I want to stress this. There's a more to Lindsay than just quote being a victim. But basically, she's one of Aaron's victims. So Aaron, who has this really big channel, allegedly devoted to Scientology, but mainly it's about him and being a celebrity and a Hollywood guy, whatever. So anyway, Aaron, for a long time, has been doing a lot of very questionable activities. So one of the things is that even though to this day he's technically married, he's had a lot of affairs. Some of these are private, some of these are public. So Lindsay publicly acknowledged their relationship a few years ago. If you keep track of Scientology, anti-Scientology, the Scientologists got wind of this and they put it on their propaganda websites. Now, I was aware of this because I'm open-minded, but I was very confused. So I looked up this information. I'm like, well, this is really confusing. What's happening here? And to be fair, basically, Lindsay acknowledges yes, she did go public with the information, but then she kind of went away. Now, this whole time, she does have a channel, but she kind of acknowledged the relationship years ago, but then kind of fell silent. But last year, she decided to go public with her concerns because, to put it mildly, Aaron was acting very suspiciously. So, to many people looking at the SPTV content, this was really shocking and very confusing. So, I stood up for Lindsay. I still do. But a lot of people became disillusioned. Although they were sympathetic to her being a victim of Aaron, they didn't like her style. They didn't like her politics. She's very pro Trump. She says this. I'm not slandering her. She's very pro Trump. So they don't like her style, they don't like her videos, they don't like her politics, they just don't like her. So they acknowledge, yes, you're a victim, but we just don't like you. So a lot of people became disillusioned. She's had a few people who have stayed with her, but she has lost a lot of support. Sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for very bad reasons. Now, me, I've tried to stick to the central core that she is a victim. I do think good faith she's trying to help people, but again, her politics and her style are a whole other topic. And if you don't like those things, well, there you go. So that's just the background. So what happened? Well, let me just give what happened with me because I know I'm going to be looked at as a grifter as well. So, it is what it is. So what happened was that I was doing these videos on Streets LA, the Nora situation and Aaron and all this other stuff. And again, people have to realize I'm trying to juggle multiple things because just to name one thing, I may be getting some part-time work like in a week or so. Maybe. It's very unstable, but hopefully I will be able to do that. So I'm just trying to juggle various things like with job issues, health issues, bills. It's just a lot of things happening. So anyway, I was finishing these videos, putting them out there. So I tried to catch up with Lindsay. She put a video out on Jenna Miscavige. So I'm looking at that. And of course, Aaron and Nora are going back and forth. So, and I looked at Knifehoarder and Goot very briefly. Uh, by the way, Goot had this really funny thing, as well as Knifehoarder. They have really funny illustrations. But anyway, so I thought I was caught up like last afternoon. This is Friday afternoon. So then I focused on Aaron and Nora. And apparently, this big brouhaha happened while I was focused on Aaron and Nora. And I will just give a brief note. Again, I'm not begging people. I'm just letting people know my situation financially. I have a very, and I stress, very basic plan with my phone. So my phone plan gives me a little bit of data. So when I'm at home, yes, I can check the internet, I can check my own channel. However, that is for a brief period. As soon as I'm finished with the data plan, it's over. So I'm quite literally in the complete dark for hours and hours when my plan runs out. So I am not joking. So when I came home late, very late last night, we're talking like Friday, I had not a single clue what the hell was happening with Knifehoarder or Lindsay. I just didn't. I could have double checked one last time, but I figured, you know, okay, I checked in on Lindsay. She did the Jenna video, and Knifehoarder did his usual videos on Scoville, and there were some pretty shocking new revelations. So I figured, okay, I'm caught up. Well, little did I know this big thing happened. So, what is the origin? As far as I can tell, and I'm searching for this, Lindsay saw, because she put out a not small video, but it was like an hour. This was on Saturday, and I was there for the live but I was like very confused, like because first she misspelled Knife Hoarder's name, so I was like very confused. But I knew who it was. I'm like Knofe Hoarder, so I'm like, wait, why are you talking about Knife Hoarder? And the live was still a little confusing. I was trying to catch up and being like, what happened? So apparently she saw one video. A moderator suggested a Knife Hoarder video. She saw it. She thought it was funny, and she admits this. She didn't see a lot of his other videos, which I think was a really big mistake. So I know Lindsay is going to take this as an attack or whatever. I'm just saying, like, that's what she said from my memory. So I would just tell Lindsay, and I'm going to stop here because I just want to make a general criticism. What Lindsay does is a lot of times she does these lives or videos, but then she makes them private or gets rid of them. And that really damages her credibility because when you try to catch up and reconstruct things, the videos are gone, so the context is gone. So it's very, very confusing. And she just keeps doing this. And, I guess from her perspective, she doesn't think it matters. It does matter because now, if you're in the situation like I am, like, well, what happened? Well, this and that happened. Well, how do you know? I'm going with a very fragmented information. So hopefully those videos are back up. But I'm swearing to you, I cannot even now double check. But I hope those videos are back up. So the Saturday video she did, she said, "Yeah, I just saw one video," and then I asked him a comment, and then things just spun out of control. So she wanted to know whose side Knife Hoarder was on, and which clearly shows she didn't see the videos because Knife Hoarder said this several times. Recently, recently, he's made very clear he doesn't like Aaron, he doesn't like Nora, he doesn't like a lot of the SPTV people. So it would be nice to chalk this up to one big misunderstanding. But again, the way I'm reconstructing events, Lindsay, again, she wasn't attacking Knife Hoarder from what I understand. It's like, well, who are you to bring up this question? Who are you? So apparently between the Jenna video and the Saturday video, she did a live, and Knife Hoarder, being Knife Hoarder, again, you may not like him or like his style. I'm fine with it. That's the orientation of the channel, but he likes to curse a lot. That's just how he does things. So apparently he went into her chat and was just messing around with her and just kept saying "f you, f you, f you," and Lindsay was thrown off, saying, "Well, what are you doing? Well, I don't understand. What is happening here?" Well, again, from his perspective, again, this is not true, but from his perspective, you are coming off like these other SPTV people. You're talking about recovery, you're talking about addiction, but you're just a grifter. She's not a grifter. She does have solid information on addiction, but again, you may not like her style, and you may not like what she's up to. And it is what it is. But I think she's legit. I think she's good faith. However, I can see why people would have questions. So Knife Hoarder is coming in with the perspective, you're just a grifter. I'm going to say F you, F you, F you. Lindsay gets very offended. And then she does a Saturday video saying, listen, I apologize. Apparently, this is a big misunderstanding, but I don't understand why you're being so aggressive. That's just the orientation of the channel. So it just seems both of them came in with very flawed information because for whatever reason, Lindsay assumed, because she has issues with another channel, True Clear Media, that because Knife Hoarder and True Clear Media are friendly, they're allied with Aaron. I don't even know why she's making these leaps, but apparently in her mind, Knife Hoarder was an Aaron ally. He's not. He's not allied with Aaron. So it just seems like a lot of big misunderstandings based on very partial information. And I am caught in the middle. Now, this isn't the first time with Lindsay. and again, I'm just going to close the video here, just trying to give the basic context because yeah, it's very confusing, and I'm sure people are still head scratching like, wow, huh? Well, that's where I am too. So she had this thing a while ago with these people on Discord, and again, I try to be as honest like as I can be while maintaining um, anonymity for some people who deserve it. I'll say that much. So Lindsay was having a back and forth with people on Discord. Now, me and Discord, I technically do have something on Discord. I created it a while ago, specifically for the channel members and for people on Patreon. Anyway, and it's been a long time since I checked the Discord or Patreon or whatever. So I have really no clue what's happening with her and the Discord people. I don't. But that's where I am with that. But I can't really plead ignorance, honestly, on this one because I've seen Knifehoarder's content. I've seen Lindsay's content. So it is what it is. So I can't really plead ignorance here. But with the Discord thing, if people come to me about that, I'm like, I really have no clue what you're talking about. I really don't. I know Liam because he did a live with her, and again, that live is gone. I think that's private or been destroyed. So again, I think Lindsay's legit. However, I would tell Lindsay, you need to stop doing that. You're making too many videos private. Now, it's your channel, you can do as you please. But when you keep taking away so much context all the time, because she keeps doing this too many times with the videos, you're really putting people in a bad situation because like they're trying to figure out what is happening here. The video's gone. Now I've been in a lot of her lives, but I don't want to be the kind of person to be like, well, what's happening? Because I got to go with my memory. Now I've done a lot of videos on this, so I can refer people to the videos, but because memory's not reliable. So, and again, I will just end off saying I don't appreciate when Lindsay puts in the comments, "You get everything wrong. You get this way." Put back the videos. We can see for ourselves what I quote got wrong. But if you take away the videos, I'm just reconstructing things as best through memory. So yeah, this is just a big mess. But I would just tell Knifehoarder, please don't lump her in with these other people. But again, I can see why he was really offended. So, and she just didn't bother to do homework and look at the other videos. So it's like, well, you kind of put yourself in a really bad situation, and you put out these videos and then you take them away. So it's just a big, big mess. But I'm just giving people the basic context and where I fit in. So I still like Knifehoarder and I still like Lindsay, but I don't know. It just seems a big misunderstanding. But no, just for the record, as far as I know, Knifehoarder is not allied with Aaron. It's not allied with SPTV. Why Lindsay thought this, I don't know. It just seems like a misunderstanding, bad assumptions on both sides, and hopefully they'll work it out. And that's where we are.